Hello everyone, I'm Man of Stage and welcome back to Utawarerumono. In the last episode, we got caught in another one of Raiko's traps. This time, there were not one, but two Guanji, although one of them we had seen before. It was like a sequel to Jaws. And it completely decimated one of our forward bases, Rumoy Pass. I remembered. Wow, I'm amazed I remembered. That literally just came to me. And it proved to be a situation where Oshtor / Haku realized that no matter how much progress the army at Enakamui makes, it seems like Raiko is always several steps ahead, and it's very demoralizing. But not everything was bad. As you can tell by the screen, Munechika is back, and she has her freedom. She's no longer a prisoner of war. Also, Fumirul is here. I don't imagine that she's going to be contributing to the fighting efforts, but I'm sure she'll be great for story purposes. I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. I'm sure Kuon is not. Comedy will ensue, which will be great because things are not looking fantastic otherwise. Ignore the cheering. Things are bleak. Anyway, let's get back into it. Sir, that is clearly a landscape.
なんと凛々しいお姿。宗近様！
随分と賑やかな出迎えだな。
I ride at the front of the caravan with the lavish carriage, looking around at the surrounding crowd. Citizens cheer and sway their arms. It's like a giant rippling wave. Do the wave!
確かに、宗近を盛大に迎えなければと言ったのは自分だが。
Where did that guy get a giant foam finger from Munechika? When did they start making those?
この盛り上がり方、ちょっと異様じゃないか？
兄上、どうしましたか？
今回の出迎えは尋常でないほど熱が入っているのだな。
確かに、私も少し気をされてしまいました。
I don't know, that Wapter in the corner looks very disinterested.
ですが、あの名高い宗近さんの凱旋ですからね。歌われしお方が軍の窮地を救い、勝利に導いたとあっては、民が熱狂するのも当然かと。
戦場の怒号にも勝るとも劣らない勢いだ。気持ちはわかるが。
Think how I feel. I had to do an intro over that. After the welcoming ceremony, we'd planned a banquet to celebrate our victory, as well as to welcome the caravan. If this level of commotion is going to last through the whole thing, I might have to rethink a couple of my plans.
それに、騒ぎの原因はもう一つ。
まだ他の理由もあるのか？
それは、皆さんがあの方に見惚れているからじゃないですか？
Okay, I was about to ask if it was because of Fumirul, but I was not sure. Kiryu indicates the carriage behind us with a gorgeous woman visible riding in it.
フミリル殿と言ったか。確かにそのようだな。
From time to time, she waves to the crowd, and every time she does so, I hear the cheering get louder, mostly from the men in attendance.
あの女性は一体何者なのでしょう？見たところ、身分も高いようですが。
キュールも気になるのか？お前も年頃だ。美人に弱いのは当然か。
I mean, I think he was asking about her social status, but sure.
何を言うのですか？私にはもう心に決めた人がいます。他の女性に興味など。
Oh, Shinonon's gonna be crushed.
冗談だ。分かっているからそうムキになるな。
Kiryu mumbles to himself, looking a little surly, and I give him a wry smile.
まあ実際気になるところではあるな。クオンとは窮地の間柄のようだが。
クオンさんとですか？だからあんなに仲良さそうにしているのですね。
Sir, for a really talented archer, you're not very observant. Next to the smiling Fumirul, Kuon seems to be going through a whole gamut of emotions.
クーちゃんの香り。
Why do you keep smelling her?
なんだかクオンさん、心なしかぐったりしていませんか？
I just imagine she's having this back and forth. Wave at the crowd, smell Kuon. Wave at the crowd, smell Kuon. Fumirul clings happily, rubbing her cheek against Kuon's, while Kuon herself looks very tired.
フミリル殿が現れてからずっとああいった感じだな。
She brings trouble.
彼女とクオン。本当のと
見てクーちゃん、みんな手を振ってくれてますよ。とっても賑やか、なんだかお祭りみたいですね。そうね、とても楽しそうね。
I'm glad somebody is. Fumirul seems happy to present herself with elegance and enthusiasm, but Kuon doesn't seem to have her usual energy.
どうしたのクーちゃん、お腹でも痛いの？
Fumirul tightens her arms around Kuon just the slightest, peering at her worriedly.
大丈夫、どこも悪くないから。ただこれからのことが心配で。フミリルはこの国に残るつもりなんでしょ？もちろんです。私はクーちゃんのお世話係ですから。
Okay, so she is going to stick around. I was trying to figure that out.
離れるわけにはいかないもの。だってトゥスクルのフミリル、うわー
Very subtle. Kuon hastily covers Fumirul's mouth with her hands.
それは秘密にしてって言ったでしょ。誰が聞いているかわからないんだから。
She lets go of Fumirul, sighing in exasperation.
そうでしたね。うっかりしてました。
Oh yeah, that big secret just slipped my mind, teehee. Fumirul clasps her hands to her cheeks, giving Kuon an embarrassed smile. It's hard to believe from her mannerisms that she's older than Kuon.
ちゃんと秘密にしておきますから、安心してください。
Unless I slip up.
わかったから、おとなしくしてて。私が本当に心配しているのはね。クーちゃん、ほらあそこ。あんなに遠くからも手を振ってくれているわ。
Fumirul gracefully stands to respond to the cheering crowd, but then... As Fumirul leans over, the sash keeping her clothes on slides off.
ちょっと待って。
Wait. Oh, yep, it sure did, didn't it? Wow, okay. Kuon swiftly grabs the ends of her clothes, keeping Fumirul from inadvertently giving the crowd an indecent response.
危なかった。
And so her worst fears quickly become apparent. Those were her worst fears?
あら、いつの間にほどけてたのかしら。クーちゃん、ありがとう。
Completely unbothered, just like, oh, huh, well that's weird.
お礼はいいから早く着付けし直して。
It's not that kind of game.
毎度のことながら、なんでこうも簡単に脱げるのかな。不思議ね。
Wait, this is a regular occurrence? She just randomly disrobes?
ええ、ほんと。
Even back home, it seemed like Fumirul's clothes could fall off at any moment, even if she wasn't doing much at all.
はあ、先が思いやられるかも。
Well, I was right about the comedy.
クーちゃん、着きましたよ。
Oh, yep, she got it back on. How did that come off? That looks like it's tied on really well. I don't know. The carriage rumbles, coming to a stop before the palace of Enakamui.
ほら、早く行きましょう。一体どんな国なのかしら。楽しみです。
Prepare to be whelmed.
大丈夫、フミリル。この招待の代表なんだし、浮かれてないで挨拶とかを。
Pretty sure that ship has sailed.
これでもクーちゃんよりお姉さんなんですから、任せておいてください。
Though that is precisely the reason Kuon is so concerned, Kuon swallows her words.
皆さん、はじめまして。トゥスクルからやってまいりました。フミリルと申します。
Fumirul introduces herself in front of the palace atop her carriage. A large crowd has gathered. Some of them, mostly men, sigh in awe at the sight.
ほら。
Realizing that she's the center of attention, she smiles and waves to the crowd.
生きていて よかった。これはまさに感服。
You should have seen what happened in the carriage. He's wishing he saw what happened in the carriage.
まあ皆さんとっても礼儀正しくてとても秩序のある国なのですね。
They even turn around to wipe away their drool.
おい、あれは見とれすぎて前かがみになってるだけだぞ。
フミリル様、中へどうぞ。先に戻られた姫殿下がお待ちなのです。
ありがとうございます、小さなお嬢さん。
段差があるので足元にお気をつけくださいです。
The steps can be treacherous.
キュール、彼女に手を。
私がですか？兄上の方がいいのでは？
このエンナカムイの王子としての務めだ。
王子としてですか？
Then I'll do it with gusto.
彼女はそれなりに高貴な身分のものだと思うのだろう。
はい、現に一団の代表を務めておられますし、あの立ち振る舞いを見ればおのずと伝わります。
それならばそれがしではなくこの国の王子であるキュールでなければならぬ。
わかりました。兄上がそういうのでしたら。
Kiryu steps forward and respectfully offers her his hand.
お手をどうぞ、フミリル様。
あら、ありがとうございます。
She takes his hand and slowly begins to descend the steps. But in that moment, oh boy. She loses her footing on the final step and loses her balance.
危ない！
Seeing the danger, Kiryu immediately moves to catch her.
え？
Oh no. Sensing an odd softness in his palm, he looks uncertainly downward. Surprise. He quickly realizes that in supporting Fumirul, he has inadvertently grabbed her chest. He freezes in place. Fumirul shifts slightly in Kuryu's terrified grasp. Oh no.
これは決して悪気があってやったわけでは。
I didn't mean it.
いえ、支えてくれてありがとうございます。
I think he should be thanking you. Apparently unbothered by Kiryu's mistake, she gives him a radiant smile.
いや、ここでありがとうというのはおかしいだろ。
Yeah.
それでは失礼しますね。キュールさん？
Can you let me go now?
お元気で。
With Kiryu still locked in place, Fumirul makes her way to the palace.
柔らかかった。
Nekone is gonna hear that.
そうか、柔らかかったか。
はい。って私は何を言ってるんだ。
Nothing at all.
こんなやましい気持ちを持ってしまうなんて、彼女に顔向けが。
気に病むな。フミリル殿も気にはしていないようだ。
But everybody else will be offended on her behalf, especially Kuon, probably Nekone.
いえ、私が言っているのは猫根さんの。
Oh no. So much jealousy. Suddenly, we seem to be surrounded by a group of men. I can't help but tense up. I look around at their faces and recognize some of them as the men who were enthralled by the caravan's passing.
お前たち、どうした？
I'll say, how could you let the prince get away with that? One man steps forth, as if the self-appointed representative of the group.
いえ、オシュトル様ではなく、私らはキュール様に用があるのです。
Tell us everything.
兄上ではなく私にですか？
お願いです。お願いがあるのです。
お願いですか？
The man suddenly drops to his knees, clasping his hand to his chest, practically groveling.
握手を。ぜひ私と握手を。
I don't think you'll get the experience by shaking his hand, but you do you, I guess.
え?
Kiryu looks dumbstruck, but the other men also speak up all at once.
俺も握手を。俺もぜひお願いします。
Specifically that hand.
皆さん、唐突に何を。
なぜか唐突にキュール様と握手をしたくなったのです。
Oh no, there's something in the air.
だからなぜ。
なぜかはあえて言いませんが、とにかくその手を握らせていただきたいのです。
Quickly, before it washes off.
私もです。
どうかどうか。
Y'all a bunch of thirsty bitches. Kiryu takes an uncertain step back, alarmed by the sheer crazed passion in their expressions.
私は
どうかどうか。
遠慮させていただきます。
逃がすな、キュール様を追うんだ。
Any hill music starts playing? The group charges after Kiryu, leaving a cloud of dust in their wake.
見なかったことにしよう。関わり合いになりたくない。
Yeah. For a moment, I feel Kiryu's pleading eyes upon me, but I turn back to the group, assuring myself that it's just my imagination.
しかし何なのだあれは。尋常でない様子であったが。
What indeed?
それはあの子といればすぐにわかると思う。
Again, is this a regular occurrence? Hearing Kuon's voice, I turn to see her approaching me, looking a little tired.
クオン、どういうことだ。
気をつけてね。あの子は渓谷の美女と呼ばれたりしてるから。
Okay.
警告。また物騒な異名を持っているのだな。とてもそうは見えないが。
I feel like Harbinger of Destruction might be better because I feel like she's not directly responsible. It just happens around her.
見えないから問題なの。
というと。
いいから、とにかく気をつけて。
With that, Kuon follows Fumirul into the palace.
気をつけろと言われても。
Everything.
彼女が渓谷の美女。そう見えないのが問題とはどういうことなんだ。
Have you tried hiding? I ignore Kiryu's cries for help, pondering the mystery of Fumirul. Oh, come on, help the guy out. Why are you gonna leave him hanging like that? The caravan's formal attendance with Anju passes without incident. The afternoon goes by. After sunset, we hold a luxurious banquet to celebrate our victory and the arrival of our guests.
やはりヤマトの酒は格別だな。ようやく帰ってきた気がする。
Munechika drinks down her cup, a satisfied smile on her face.
それは本当に良かったですね。よろしければお継ぎいたしましょうか。
ありがたくいただくとしよう。
猫やんもどうへ。私は結構なのです。ハトイさんもこれ以上は明日に差し支えが。
Nonsense. I do my best fighting when I'm inebriated.
まあまあそう言わんと。ほらググーっと。でも
それでは猫根さんの代わりにこのキュールが杯を受けましょう。
ほっほー、男前な口を聞くようになったじゃない。
I have felt a woman and then been chased by other men.
キュールも随分と頼もしくなったな。
姉上、ここはあまり持ち上げない方が。
どういうことだ。
じゃあグッといくへ。
あれ、さっきと杯の大きさ違いませんか。
This is my man cup. I'm not sure where she got it, but the cup she's filling now is enormous.
やっぱり一人前の男はこれくらいの器で飲むもんやへ。
Well, I said it as a joke, but apparently it was true.
そういうことでしたら。
It's just a big gulp. His mind apparently made up, Kiryu tips back the massive cup. Isn't he a lightweight?
おう、なかなかの飲みっぷりだな。
じゃあもう一杯いくへ。
No, don't do that.
では。
Yep, he's already gone. Kuryu swigs down one cup after another as if they're nothing. Yep, it's caught up with him.
おや急に寡黙になったな。
I saw the afterlife.
目が座ってきましたね。
キュール、無理してないよな。
あ、兄上。
どうした？
I'm going to pass out now. Good night. Thud.
くぼくらろ
Uh-oh.
やはり今日はキュールの役日みたいだな。
Quickly, run.
では少し涼みにでも行くか。
As I stand to take him outside, somebody beats me to it.
まったく何をしているですか。介抱するからこっちに来るです。
Oh, this could be a good bonding moment. Don't screw it up by vomiting everywhere.
猫ねさん、そんな、いいんですか？
He just hangs on her arm. You know, I really love you. Yeah, I know. Just don't throw up on me, please. Nekone leaves the table as she supports a shaky but somehow happy Kuryu.
キュールにとってはそんなに悪い日でもなかったか。
じゃあ次はオシトル班の番やえ。
No, thank you.
そうきたか。だが今日は潰れるまで飲むわけにはいかないからな。そういえば正常に呼ばれていたのをすっかり忘れていた。急がねば。
オシトル班。
Rain check. I think of a quick excuse and immediately leave the table.
オシトルか。
Looks like Anju's worn out from having to greet all the guests.
どうじゃ、みんなは楽しんでおるか？
はい、存分に。
ならばよい。決して眠いわけではないが、夜がいると堅苦しく思う者もいるやもしれん。
Yeah, I'm not sleepy at all. Let's keep celebrating.
ゆえに、そろそろ夜は退席しようと思う。あとはブレイクをじゃ。任せたぞ。
Don't fall asleep, you'll die. Sorry, I just finished watching The Edge of Sleep, which is really good, by the way. If you haven't seen it, and you have Amazon Prime, watch it.
はあ、どうぞお休みください。
I watch Anju leave with her attendants, stifling a yawn. Are her attendants stifling the yawn? Just as Anju said, the party gradually becomes more casual as the evening wears on. People split off into their own groups to chat and joke.
ここはとりわけ賑やかだな。それも彼女のおかげか。
Oh, is it Fumirul? The guest of honor is in the very center of the banquet, happily serving drinks to everyone around her. All the soldiers haven't even touched their drinks, but they're still red in the face, practically entranced by Fumirul.
渓谷の美女。確かに美しくあるが、クオンが言うほど危険には見えないんだがな。
And now is where the fight breaks out. I find a secluded seat, a little removed from the noise and fuss of the banquet, studying her from afar. She seems to be having a nice enough time with the celebration, as she glides around pouring everyone's drinks.
お食する。主様、もう一本いかがですか？
ああ、もらおう。
I accept a cup from the twins sitting at my side, but my gaze still remains on Fumirul.
興味。あの方が気になるのですか？
We can arrange something for you. Wait, no, don't do that.
まあ、興味があるといえばそうだが。
加える？
Well,
主様の研ぎの相手に。
be very careful how you answer this question.
そういう興味じゃない。というか、お前たちの中で、それがしはどれだけ節操がないのだ？
No, and that's part of the problem.
なくて当然。
Okay.
英雄色を好む。主様も例外ではないかと。
It's not that kind of game. Maybe the first one was. Originally. But not this time.
その例外があるとなぜ思わないんだ？
オシトル様、ここにおられたのですね。
I look up, interrupted by a gentle voice. Fumirul stands alongside me, bottle in hand.
フミリル殿、宴の主役がどうなされた？
お探ししました。一言ご挨拶をと思ってましたから。
挨拶？
まずはこのような宴を開いてくださったことへのお礼を。ごく最近に刃を交えた国の施設を宴席に招くのは何かと難しかったと思います。
It's fine.
それがしの一存というわけではありませぬ。聖城もまた盛大な宴を望まれたゆえ。
If anything, I feel like it's not the war. If anything, I feel like it's because the princess of Tuskura that he doesn't know is Kuon threw him through a wall.
宗近殿の帰還をこの上なくお喜びになり、その功労者である招待を大いにもてなしたいとおっしゃいましてな。
そうでしたか。微妙な時期ですので、会議の目で見られることは覚悟していましたが。
Not the man.
寛大な御心に感謝の言葉もありません。私に関しては個人的な事情でここに来たと思っていただければ。
クーちゃん。
個人的な事情？
はい。この度はクーちゃんがお世話になっております。
クーちゃん？あ、クオンのことか。しかし姉フミリル殿はクオンの姉君なのか？
いいえ。でも私は本当のお姉ちゃんだと思ってますから。
It's like how she has 6 or 7 mothers. I can't remember the exact number. Somebody correct me.
姉代わりというわけか。
はい。故郷にいるときは毎日一緒だったんですよ。クーちゃんってば甘えん坊さんでいっつも後をくっついてきて
クオンが彼女に世話を焼かれていた。
I don't believe you.
さあ、お近づきの印にお一ついかが？
ああ、ではいただこう。
I raise my cup towards Fumirul.
それでは一本。
Just as Fumirul tips the bottle forward, she seems to trip on something and lose her balance. And she plows right into me as she falls forward.
と、フミリル殿、怪我はないか?
Oh, I see. She's just exceedingly clumsy. As Fumirul falls on top of me, I try to lean back up to support her.
はい、大丈夫です。
Aha! We have a CG! I'm happy now.
すみません。何かを踏んでしまったみたいで。
No, you didn't. You tripped on nothing at all. As she tries to get up, I can feel a certain softness pressing and brushing up against me.
これは参ったな。
Hello there.
どうかしましたか？まさかどこか痛めたのでは？
いや、なんともない。気にしないでくれ。
I'm great. Fumirul tries to peer at my face, worried. Well, I'm just trying to keep her from squirming around on top of me too much. Every time she moves, her ample chest presses against my own torso, and I lose my train of thought.
とりあえず立っていただけると助かるのだが。
おお、オシュトル様がフミリル様と。
Stop that.
なんて手が早い。先を越された。
Down, boy.
待てお前たち、勘違いするな。
そんなことを言われましても。
ずるいですよ、オシュトル様。羨ましい。
They're not even listening to me. I can feel the stares of envy and admiration from the soldiers around us.
とにかくこの状況を何とかしなければ。
Alright, you can all punch me in the face, but you have to punch right at the mask.
まあ、なんだか皆さん楽しそうですね。どうしたんでしょう。
なぜこの体勢で平然としてるんだ、この人は。
Happens all the time. I'm left dumbfounded, seeing Fumirul smiling innocently at the soldiers gathering around us.
とりあえず、フミリル殿、 どいてはくれませぬか。このままでは、いろいろ困ったことになりますゆえ。
My unfortunate anyway.
そうなのですか？オシュトル様がそういうのであれば。
She doesn't seem to quite understand, but she pushes herself up with a puzzled look.
やれやれ、これで一安心。
But it was too late. Kuon saw everything. Oh no, not again. As she moves, I hear the sound of some kind of fabric shifting.
一体どこか。
I glance around to find the source of the noise and freeze.
オシュトル様、そんなに驚いた顔をしてどういたしました？
Yep, there she goes again. That thing is really not on securely.
待つのだ、フミリル殿。服が。
あら、本当ですわね。
I feel a
道理
slight
で寒い
breeze.
と思いました。
それだけか。もっと違う反応があるだろう。
I mean, it's her stomach, it's fine. She seems amused rather than flustered, treating it like a simple hair tie that had come undone.
先ほどつまずいたのは服の裾だったみたいですね。いつの間に帯がほどけたのかしら。
I think you need better clothes. She seems wholly unconcerned that her clothes are falling off, reaching instead for the bottle she had a moment ago. Wait. Just the slightest movement, and it looks as if her bosom would burst out of her remaining clothes.
さあ、オシュトル様、改めて一献。
Would you like to get dressed first?
待て。なぜそうなるのか。その前にやることがありましょうに。
まあ、うっかりしていました。おつまみを用意しないといけませんね。
Priorities.
うっかりはしている。だが、もっと大きなうっかりがあるのだが。いや、そうではなく、つまみの用意よりももっと大事なことが。
You've almost served the main course.
先に一献ですか？そうですよね。食べるよりも乾杯の方が先ですものね。
なんでそうなる？いえ、フミリル殿のお召し物が。
10 on 10 voice acting. Love it.
ご遠慮なさらずに。ほら、このとっくりもう軽くなってますね。お待ちくださいな。すぐに新しいものをもらってきますから。
Maybe you want to get Kuon at this point?
フミリル殿、今立ち上がると。
はい？あらら。
My warnings go unheeded as Fumirul trips on her loose clothes a second time. Welp, and we're back. And it's more revealing than it was before. The bottle in her hands goes flying through the air, sending its contents splattering across my clothes. Oh no. And now she's gonna try to take him out of his clothes.
大変。何か拭くものを。
Here, you can use mine. She leans over me again, moving as if to wipe me down.
フミリル殿。
動かないでくださいね。風邪をひかないうちに拭いてしまわないと。
Yeah, clearly that's the problem.
服、ここは私たちが。
You said the magic word.
いえ、私がやりますわ。
No, they've been waiting for this opportunity. As the twins at my side step forward, Fumirul gently puts out a hand to stop them.
このくらいなら私一人で大丈夫ですよ。
And refusing all help from the twins, she begins wiping gently at the splotches of alcohol on my robes.
拭いてくれるのはありがたいが、まずは服を直せ。
Every time she moves, I get a glimpse of her cleavage through the loosened clothes, whether I want to or not.
なんという役得！羨ましいぞ。なんでオシュトル様ばかり。
Well, he's no Hakulo. I can feel the envious gazes of the soldiers prickling at me.
まさか、これがクオンが言っていたことか。
Well, she did say you would find out soon enough. She's smooth, but oblivious. Her actions could accidentally drive men into total chaos. I shudder to think of the effect she's having on everyone. Ooh, new plan. Send her to Raiko and let her just cause complete chaos. What scares me the most is the fact that she seems completely oblivious to what she's doing.
そう見えないから問題。クオンの言う通りだ。
I mean, she has good intentions.
とりあえずこの状況をなんとかしないと。
Thanks to Fumirul's efforts, I can barely see any traces of the spilt drink.
フミリル殿、もう大丈夫なようだ。吹くのはもういいから少し離れ。冷た。
Oh my god.
ウルール、サラーナ、何をする？
We need to wipe you down now. At the sudden splash, I whirl around to find the twins have poured the rest of the bottle over me.
教授、主様、幸せそうでした。
Oh my gosh.
工場。でも、私たちならもっとうまくできます。
Great game, coach. Dumps Gatorade.
何を言っている？どこをどう見たらそう思う？
負けない。天井のシミを数えていてください。フミリル様には負けませんから。
勝ち負けの問題じゃないだろう。
お二人も手伝ってくれるんですか？ありがとうございます。
Oh no. Now it's that kind of scene. And Fumirul only responds with a serene smile. It's fine being innocent and all, but I'm the one who has to deal with all this.
待て。落ち着いてはくれないか。
That's just as much to himself as it is to them.
問答無用。
きれいにさせていただきますね。
Surrounded by Fumirul and the twins, 6 hands work over me to dab and wipe at the alcohol drenching my clothes.
羨ましい。
羨ましい。美女3人となんて、オシトル様、羨ましすぎる。
I can feel the envious stares intensifying all around me. Some of them are starting to feel a little murderous.
やばい。このままでは自分の身が危ない。
Nah, you'll be fine. The twins would never let the soldiers take you out.
ぬれぬれ。お腹のあたりが特に濡れています。私たちはそこを。
Stop that.
それじゃあ私は胸の方を拭きますね。
分担お任せします。拭き終わったら頭も。
これなら早く終わりそう。
Oh, there was a joke there, and I really had to stop myself. The 3 of them continue to happily wipe me off without a care for the fury and anguish of the onlookers. Things have devolved into complete chaos. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
これが警告。国を滅ぼすほどの力。なんと恐ろしい。
Oh, that was great. Well, you were warned. About a month has passed since the battle for Rumoy Pass, and Akamui has settled once more into comfortable peace.
喉が渇いたな。
Careful who you say that to.
ウルール、サラーナ、すまないがお茶を。と、いないのか。
Looking around, I realize that the study is still and silent. They're usually right nearby, but this time I can't find them.
そういえば朝から姿が見えないな。
What are they doing? What are they plotting?
しょうがない。自分で入れるとするか。しかし、なんだか久しぶりだな。
A smile creeps across my face as I reflect. I can barely remember a time when they weren't waiting on me hand and foot.
まあ、こんなこともあるか。さて、お茶をちょっと。
But it doesn't taste as good.
綺麗な色が出ています。香りも良いですね。
ん？この声は。
I recognize the voice from the large kitchen up ahead. I look to the source of the voice, and sure enough, I see someone familiar in the corner of the room.
時間が決めて。
Ah.
茶葉ごとに湯の温度と蒸らす時間はそれぞれ違うものです。まず確認する。初めてのものは まず自分で試してみること。入れるのはそれから。
They really know their tea.
自分でまず飲んでからですね。わかりました。
フミリル？
I admit, I'm taken aback. She's standing there intently listening to the twins' lecture. On the table in front of them, various canisters are laid out with tea leaves, tea sets, and cups.
3人でお茶でもしているのか。にしては。
Nope, they're preparing tea for everyone.
あら、オシトル様、ごきげんよう。
主様、どうかされましたか、主様。
いや、珍しい組み合わせと思ってな。ずいぶん真剣に話し込んでいたようだが。
Just tea talk.
お二人にお茶の入れ方を習っていたんです。
フミリル殿が？またどうして？
私、こちらでいただけるお茶がとても美味しく感心してしまいまして。ですから、いつもオシトル様に給仕なされているお二人に詳しくお話をと。
Fumirul smiles brightly, resting her fingers against her cheek.
2人の姿が見えなかったのはフミリルに捕まっていたからか。
彼女は強引。物腰は柔らかいのに断りきれませんでした。
She seems to have that effect on people. She did the same thing to Munechika.
それは大変であったな。
I can't help but smile at the thought of someone turning the tables on the twins.
しかし、茶の入れ方を学ぼうとは随分殊勝であるな。
私もウルールさん、サラーナさんと同じようにクーちゃんの喜ぶ顔が見たいですから。より美味しいお茶を入れることができればきっと喜んでくれますよね。
ああ、そうだな。
Her gentle smile speaks volumes. One must be very precious to her.
しかし大丈夫か？この2人、何か妙なことを教えたりしないだろうな。
Ooh, no promises. Considering all my personal experience with these twins' shenanigans, I start feeling a little uneasy.
平気。心配いりません。真面目に教えました。
They know.
そうなのか？なら良いのだが。
It's harder for me to reprimand them when they talk like they can read my mind. They can.
では、それがしも一緒に聞いていいか？少し興味があるのでな。いや、騙されんぞ。絶対何かする気だろう。
Maybe not this time, or maybe that's just naive.
どうぞ。ではこちらにお座りになってください。
Fumirul moves aside to allow space for me, gesturing for me to sit before turning back to the twins.
さあ、ウルールさん、サラーナさん、続きをお願いできますか？
わかった。次はちょっとしたコツをお教えします。
And so they spread out the tools in front of them and launch into an explanation of the proper use and care for each. The lesson spans from the proper storage of leaves to the aeration of the water, even specific mannerisms among tea drinkers.
大きさで選ぶ。大きな茶葉はそのまま飲む際に使用します。小さければ混ぜて煮込むのに使います。発酵の度合い。完全発酵、半発酵、不発酵。どの茶葉にも個性があります。
As they explain their methods in great detail, I start to realize how much work they must have put into brewing tea.
なんだ、結構まともなんだな。
It's an education session.
以上。こんなものです。わかりましたか？
Ururu and Sarana finish their explanation, looking satisfied with themselves.
なかなか長い話であったな。茶の湯というのも奥が深い。
Uncle Iroh.
聞いているだけでもこんなに楽しいものだなんて夢中になってしまいました。細かに教えてくださってありがとうございます。ですが
Fumirul closes her eyes, looking momentarily puzzled about something.
受け付ける。どうぞ。何かわからないことでも？
いいえ、お二人の説明はとてもわかりやすくてためになりました。ですが、やはり実際にやってみないとわからないこともあって。
I get that. I'm the same way. I feel like if you're a kinesthetic learner, you really have to actually... You can watch somebody and you can listen to somebody, but until you do it yourself, it's not really going to stick in your head.
確かに。やってみてからこそ出てくる疑問もある。
ですよね。というわけで、オシトル様。
Guinea pig.
なんだ？
私の練習に付き合ってくれないでしょうか。
それがしがか。
A request catches me off guard.
はい。だって飲んでくれる方がいないと練習になりませんもの。
それならばウルールとサラーナでも良いのではないか。
I looked to the twins uncertainly.
主様、私たちも主様が適任と判断します。
We're great at making tea. You're great at tasting tea. Everybody wins.
やはり客観的に意見できる方がいらっしゃる方がいいと思うんです。
それもそうか。よし、わかった。それがしでよければ付き合おう。
本当ですか？ありがとうございます。
Fumirul gives me a small bow. Her face lit up with a radiant smile.
手本を見せる。まずは私たちがお手本を見せます。少々お待ちください。
Immediately, the two start preparing the tea with deft, quick movements. The two of them work in perfect synchronicity, and in no time at all, a fresh cup of tea is on the table before me.
どうぞ。
ああ、いただこう。
I personally watched them go through every step of the process, so I can drink without worrying about them having done anything to the tea. The temperature, the subtle flavor, all of it is exactly adjusted to match my tastes. I find myself savoring it, despite my worries.
うまい。
強烈至極に存じます。
Their expressions are as emotionless as ever, but I can tell they're pleased.
お二人ともすごい手際ですね。感心してしまいます。
They're in perfect sync. It's a little creepy, actually.
慣れ。つまるところ、お茶は使える主様好みに合わせるのが基本です。
As Fumirul looks on in awe, the two of them point to each part of the tea set, explaining patiently.
組み合わせも大事。水の硬さと茶葉の相性に留意し、その日の気温によって濃さや温度を変えるのも大事です。
へえ、そこまで気を使ってくれていたとは知らなかった。
Seriously, they are very dedicated to their tea. And to think I just drink it down without a second thought. I'm getting a real education on how much effort goes into every cup.
早めに出す。あとは適温を維持して冷める前に主様へ差し出します。何より心遣い。この国は寒いのでちょっと厚めにお出しすると喜ばれます。
なるほど。熱い方が良いのですね。
確かに温まる。ほっとするな。
Yeah, I get that. I tend to prefer hot tea. Even though where I'm from, iced tea is the preference. I only half listened to the twins' lesson, enjoying the scent of the tea in front of me.
では、私の番ですね。待っていてください。すぐに美味しいお茶を。
This time, Fumirul bustles around at the makeshift brewing station, mimicking the twins' movements.
なかなかうまく真似しているようには見えるが。
I mean, she's at a disadvantage. There's only one of her, and there are two of them. She's not hesitating or faltering, but she keeps using the wrong tools, and she's doing a couple of the steps out of order. In the end, Fumirul manages to pour a cup of tea and gracefully carries it toward me. It looks like she's walking fine, but I can't help being a little on edge.
彼女はいきなり転んだりするから気をつけないと。
Just as long as she's not staying on hers.
オシトル様、お茶を。
Oh, too late. There is absolutely nothing on the floor to trip her up, yet somehow Fumirul still loses her balance and topples forward, and I wear hot tea.
おっと
I catch Fumirul before she falls to the ground, and even manage to steady the cup before it spills. Wow.
はあ、危なかった。
Those are some Spider-Man reflexes.
よかった。気を張っていて正解だったか。
There it is. One of my hands is holding the cup steady, and the other holds something soft.
まさか。
Oh, but it can. I nervously look down and try to move my hand again. Maybe look before moving your hand? Fumirul looks down, seemingly bewildered by the hand supporting her chest.
すまない、フミリル殿。
I immediately let go of her and put some distance between us. But Fumirul seems entirely unruffled. She slowly meets my gaze and smiles.
すみません、オシトル様。支えてくれてありがとうございます。
It's okay, everybody catches me by my chest. For some reason.
こぼさないようにお湯飲みの方に気を取られてて、足元を見てませんでした。
危なかったな。
Yeah.
まさかとは思ったが、やはり胸を触ったことに対する反応はないんだな。
It seems to be an everyday occurrence for her. I look down at my hand. I can still feel the sensation of warmth in my hand from where I was holding her.
ママ。あままままま。
Unlike Fumirul, however, the twins look very disturbed by what just happened. A little jealous, too.
ささ、せっかく入れたのですから、飲んではいただけませんか？
I just expect them to start walking through things. Oh no, Master, we tripped. Catch us. Holds out chest.
ああ、そうだな。
冷めないうちにどうぞ。
I look down into the cup. Not a drop spilled.
分厚くて立派な湯飲みだな。湯気といい香りが立ち上ってくる。特に変わったところは。
Ah, yes, but Fumirul's whole thing is looks can be deceiving.
では、いただく。あっちゃ、口の中が。
Oh, 200 degrees is too hot.
どうかされました？
フミリル殿、いささかお茶が熱すぎる。
I try to speak around the scalding pain on my tongue.
でも、ちょっと厚めに出すのが喜ばれると。
A little hot, not liquid magma.
それでも限度というものがあるだろう。この熱さ、ちょっとどころではないと。
それでは熱い。もう少し冷ました方が良いと思います。
まあ、そうなのですね。
Fumirul furrows her brow, studying me with an apologetic look.
やけどされてませんか、オシトル様。
How can you tell?
ん？まあ、そんなに含んではおらぬし、大丈夫だと思うが。
Everything he eats for the rest of the day, plastic.
でも。
フミリル殿。
Fumirul suddenly strides forward, face to face with me. She stares into my eyes. What are you going to do?
心配です。舌を見せていただけないでしょうか。
いや、だから、それがしは大丈夫だと。
おお、これは。
They're taking notes. Fumirul's innocent eyes pierce into mine, her gaze full of worry and determination.
これは、とても折れそうにないな。
Probably not.
仕方がない。ここは。わかった。では、お願いしよう。で。
はい。
Her face immediately brightens.
武器。女の武器。たまらない。ああも迫られては さすがに主様もたまらない。
More notes.
それでは失礼します。
The twins watch us with very serious expressions as Fumirul carefully examines my tongue.
これは
ああ、顔が近い。何もそこまで覗き込まなくても。
Good question.
どうだ、大丈夫であろ
そうですね。かすかに赤みがある程度です。平気そうでした。
う。
She finally allows me to back up a bit, and I let out a small sigh. Fumirul seems to be satisfied as well, and gives her own small sigh of relief.
それではオシュトル様の無事も確認しましたし、入れ直してきますね。
Is this just going to turn into a Goldilocks situation? Is the next tea going to be too cold?
よろしく頼む。
I nod assent, and she happily returns to her efforts with the tea.
お水、これで口の中をお冷ましください。
ああ、すまない。
I sip from the offered cup of water, and the pain on my tongue slowly cools and subsides.
いきなりひどい目にあったな。これは予想以上に大変かもしれない。
As I sit there thinking to myself, Fumirul returns with a second cup of tea.
できました。今度は適温のはずです。
確かに今回はちゃんと冷ましていた。
I didn't bother to check the tea before, so this time I tilt the cup as subtly as I can. But it looks okay from what I can see.
では、いただこう。
I try one more uncertain sip, but in that moment, I couldn't help but spray the mouthful out.
オシュトル様暑かったですか？冷えるまで待っていたのに。
No, I don't think it was the heat this time.
いや、熱くはない。熱くはなかったのだが。
I look back down into the cup. I nearly dropped it in the shock.
苦すぎる。
The contents of the cup are a thick dark green, practically verging on black.
すごく濃い。お湯を入れてから待ちすぎです。後に入れる。先にお湯を冷ましてから茶葉を入れます。
そうなのですね。
基本中の基本だと思うんだがな。
オシュトル様、お口に。
Oh no, what is she going to do now?
ああ、吹き出してしまったからな。
More
垂れ
wiping.
てしまったのであろ
じっとしていてください。
Yep,
拭きますので。
called it.
う。いや、子供ではないのだ。これぐらい自分で。
No, you are not. You are a baby.
ですが、吹き出したお茶が服にまで。さあ、早く拭いてしまわないとシミになってしまいます。
Fumirul's fingertips glide across my collar with quick natural movements, like a fish in water.
そこまではしなくていい。
She almost had me undressed in the blink of an eye. I hastily raised my hand to stop her.
達人の手管。無理強いをせず、流れるように自然です。勉強になる。
I'm a little afraid of who's learning more from this lesson. I thought it was supposed to be about tea. The twins observe us, nodding with admiration.
なんだこの状況は。
さあ、オシュトル様、続きを。
With the tea?
まだやるのか。
はい、まだうまくできていませんから。
I guess this is gonna be the whole day.
その通り。私たちも教えきれていません。
And she hasn't taught you all she knows?
そうか。っていつになったら終わるんだ。
Scene transition. Yeah, scene transition.
お二人ともありがとうございました。
Fumirul bows with a very joyous smile.
こちらこそ。お礼など必要ありません。私たちも勉強になりました。
That couldn't possibly come back to bite us later. The twins look like they always do, but I can tell they're happier than usual.
それでは早速クーちゃんに振る舞ってみます。またいろいろ教えてくださいね。
任せて。勉強の機会が増えますから、やぶさかではありません。
Yes, a learning experience for everyone indeed.
それでは。
And so Fumirul leaves, humming a cheerful tune.
やっと終わったか。
Once I'm sure Fumirul's left the room, I sag with a deep sigh.
腹が。
In the end, I lost count of how many cups they had me drink. I ruefully rubbed my stomach.
それで結局どうだったんだ？
完璧。もはや火の打ちどころなし。
そりゃあれだけやればそうなるだろう。
勉強になった。むしろ私たちの方がいろいろと勉強になりました。
Yeah, I had a feeling that was the case.
逆に見習う。
Well,
私たちも技術を磨かねば。
I don't know about good example.
全く関係ないこと言っていないか、この二人。
No, they are not. Another exasperated sigh escapes me. One that's probably tea-scented by now, I figure.
付き合って。その時は、主様もぜひ付き合ってほしいです。
それは二度とごめん被りたいが。腹が。
I rubbed my aching belly, my shoulders drooping.
茶はもうしばらく見たくない。
That's unfortunate. Because I'm sure you'll be getting more later.
そう難しく考えない方が。
だがルルティエ殿。
On a stroll for some fresh air, I noticed the two talking nearby with very serious expressions. I gradually come to a halt.
どうした？
They seem like they want to talk, but it also seems like Munechika is trying to get something out of Ruletia.
オシトル様。
オシトル殿か。
As I speak up, the two look to me simultaneously, though their reactions couldn't be more different.
せっかくですから、オシトル様にも聞いてみてはいかがでしょうか。
Interesting. Ruletia seems relieved at the chance to include me. Munechika, on the other hand, gives me a solemn look.
だが。
オシトル様なら何かいい知恵を授けてくださるかもしれません。
I feel like there's a 50-50 shot that this is serious or something completely goofy. Munechika seems a little reluctant, but at Ruletia's urging, she seems to relent.
先ほどから何の話だ？
実は正常のことでルルティエ殿に相談に乗ってもらっていた。オシトル殿は気づいておいでか？最近の正常の成長を。
Given the circumstances, that makes sense.
確かに近頃の王女さんは高貴なものにふさわしい慈悲の心と責任感を持って民や兵に接するようになった。おかげで兵の士気、民の忠誠はだいぶ熱くなってきているな。ま、たまに昔のようなわがままを言う時もあるが。
It's like how the old Haku comes out every once in a while.
いずれはきっと偉大な帝へと成長するだろう。ああ、頼もしいばかりである。それで相談というのは？
祭りごとにおいては成長を遂げられた正常も内心では郷愁に沈んでおられるご様子。なんとおいたわしい。
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon.
郷愁?
I give her a look, concerned by the vague statement. Ruletia murmurs to me.
実は最近アンジュ様が都の方を眺めておられまして。
そうか。気丈に振る舞っていたが無理もない。
そこでなんとか正常のお心を慰めることはできぬかと思ってな。
We could build a bath.
なるほど。しかしお心を慰める方法か。難しいな。
うん。おそば好きであるルルティエ殿の意見も伺ったが、 妙案も生まれず。
ごめんなさい、お力になれなくて。
いや、突然のことで申し訳ない。だが何とかして差し上げたいのだ。
Munechika crosses her arms, knitting her brow in thought.
こうも真剣に悩んでいるとなると、適当なことは言えんな。ルルティエが困っていた理由がわかる。手堅いところだと食べ物か。馴染みの味を持って郷愁を慰めるというが。
That's not a bad idea.
宮廷と同じ食事となると少々無理がある。
Oh.
各国より集められた食材を用い、贅の限りを尽くした料理を供するのは現状まず不可能であろう。誤解されるな。食事に関してならば正常は十分に満足されている。ルルティエド。
ありがとうございます。お家に帰ることができれば一番なんでしょうが。
Ruletia sighs. Of course, we all know how impossible that would be right now.
結局は帝都奪還がなればということか。
Munechika looks grim once more. She knows as well as we do that the prospect is almost impossible in our current state.
何か拠り所となるものがあれば違うのでしょうか。
拠り所。そうか。オシュトル殿、協力してもらえるか。
Sure, what's the plan?
それは構わぬが、何をだ。
世話になった。これにて失礼する。では行こうか、オシュトル殿。
Could we discuss the plan first?
いえ、私こそお願いいたします。
Are we improvising?
頑張ってください。
Ruletia gives us a polite bow, and we make our way back.
それで、宗近殿、まずは何をするのか説明を伺いたい。
今の正常に必要なもの。それは、親の愛情。
Well, I mean, Haku/Oshtor is kind of her pseudo-uncle, so that's something.
はあ?
Munechika doesn't seem to hear me as she continues on, pulling me along until we reach Anju's room. Are we playing house?
失礼いたしまする。
胸近か。どうかしたのか？
We find Anju sprawled lazily in the middle of her room, looking up from some questionable reading material. Have you been in Ruletia's room again? There are half-eaten snacks scattered around her on the floor, and a couple of other books nearby.
郷愁に沈んでいるにしては、何か随分とくつろいでるな。
Well, Munechika did say she was slipping into the old Anju. Actually, maybe Oshtor said that. Anju jolts, realizing I've entered the room as well, and hastily scurries around, cleaning up the mess as fast as she can. She gathers the books in one big clump and shoves them to the side, quickly straightens out her clothing, then clears her throat awkwardly.
よく来たの、オシトルよ。
I wasn't doing anything unseemly.
今さら。
Munechika barely seems to notice her fussing, taking a step forward.
正常。申し訳ありませぬ。小生、正常のお心に気づかず。
There are two very different energies in this room.
どうしたのじゃ、そんな改まって。
なれば、この宗近を母と思って甘えていただいて構いませぬゆえ。
That's not awkward at all. Anju only seems more baffled. Munechika takes a step closer, her face gravely serious.
ああ、親の愛情って、そういう。
Somehow, I resist the urge to facepalm. Anju tilts her head, looking bewildered.
胸近よ、何の冗談じゃ？
I don't believe that she is capable of joking.
隠しめなさるな。正常が時折、都の方を見てため息をつかれていたことは知っております。
見られておったのか。
A somber look falls across Anju's face. This only seems to encourage Munechika, and she continues on.
帝がお隠れになり、 さぞや寂しさを募らせたことかと。小生では力不足でありますが。
宗近、そなたはさっきから何を言っておるのじゃ？
I get the gist of it, but I'm confused about the execution. Anju's words fall on deaf ears as Munechika continues her passionate speech.
添い寝でも何でもお申し付けくださればいくらでもいたします。
それでどうしてオシトルまで一緒なのじゃ？
He can also sleep next to you through the night if you so desire. Really? Despite the passion in Munechika's speech, Anju still looks uncertain.
確かにそこは気になるところだ。というか、ちゃんと理由があってほしい。
You're the daddy. In response, Munechika straightens with pride.
恐れ多くも小生一人で帝の代わりなど。なればこの宗近を母オシトル殿を父と思っていただければと愚行する次第。
Yep.
お前は何を言ってるんだ。
Munechika's declaration stuns us both.
そなたとオシトルが目を閉じゃと！
I mean, not literally. Anju sinks weakly into her chair, apparently in shock at the revelation.
は、そうなりましょうか。
いつからじゃ？
About 2 minutes ago.
いや、質問がおかしい。
Anju doesn't seem to hear Munechika, muttering feebly.
二人はいつからそのような仲になったのじゃ？
2.5 minutes?
はて、そのような事実はございませぬが。
正常。
I hastily cut in, hoping to keep this from getting any more complicated.
宗近殿はただ、己を実の親と思って甘えてほしいと言っているのです。
そうじゃったのか。
Anju brightens for a moment, but she quickly lowers her gaze in embarrassment.
なんじゃ、それならそうと勘違いするではないか。
申し訳ありませぬ。小生の言葉が足りぬばかりに。
Princess, I am your mother now. Munechika bows her head in apology, and Anju settles back into her usual carefree attitude.
いや、もうよい。世も早とちりが過ぎたようじゃ。よくよく考えてみれば、そなたらが夫婦というのは何か違う感じじゃしの。
Well, you don't have to say it like that. Anju points at herself as she continues.
例えば、世とオシトルであればぴったりなんじゃろうが。
なるほど。では小生が子供役となりましょう。
Wait, what?
いや、それは。
It's still playing house, I guess. At Munechika's words, Anju falters once more, looking entirely out of her depth. Oh, but I want to see how she plays this role.
わかる。わかるぞ、王女さん。こう言いたいんだろう。お前のような子供がいるか。
Mother, I have matriculated.
ところで、そもそもどうしてそのような話になったのじゃったか。
After everything had been cleared up, and we had all given up on playing house. Aw, I wanted to see how that was going to pan out. That would have been hilarious. Anju mutters in bemusement, staring at the setting sun in the west.
宗近殿が正常のお心を心配されたのが発端かと。
And she was desiring to replace that with an even greater mental burden. I sound almost as dazed by the whole thing as she does. Anju sighs wearily.
そういえば、そんな話じゃったな。
She's no longer around to hear us, having returned to her duties guarding the room's entrance.
まあ、人と人との関係はそう簡単に変わるものではないか。
And then a question comes to mind.
結局のところ、正常はなぜ都の方を見ておられたのですか？
ああ、あれはの。ルルティエに借りた本の続きが気になっておったのじゃ。この国ではなかなか新刊は手に入らなからの。
A far simpler explanation.
そんな理由で。 今まで振り回されていたのか。
That's comedy. I managed to keep my size strictly inward and look up to the sky. I don't know how long she's been here, but I can see Munechika at her side, bowing her head deeply.
正常のそのお気持ち、不詳宗近、よくわかりまする。
I too have a passion for literature.
宗近殿、何か。
When did you get here? I am very sneaky.
いえ、何も。
As a veil of darkness settles over the sky, I can see the twinkling of the first star of the night. Was that... Okay, I guess that was the whole thing. I wasn't sure if there was going to be more to that or not.
小生がオシュトル殿に戦の教えを？
I am interested to see where this is going to go. However, I think I'm going to have to stop the episode at this point. Unfortunately, I do not have a whole lot of time today. But this has been a fun one. It's been a lot more lighthearted than the last episode, full of really hilarious moments. I love that. I love those points of levity. These games always do such a great job of balancing that out. I think especially Mask of Deception and Mask of Truth are really good about balancing the funny moments in between the serious story beats. I think sometimes it was a little unbalanced in Prelude to the Fallen, because I feel like you get a bunch of really funny stuff happening all in one go, and then it gets to really serious story stuff, especially toward the end. But I also understand, you know, when the stakes are high and you're getting close to the climax of the story, there's not really a good opportunity for a lot of humor. I mean, you can have humorous moments, but if you do it too much, it undermines the gravity of the situation. I'm so glad we have Munechika back. I was really hoping we would get to have her in a fight, and I think it's going to be really good to have her going forward. I do wonder if we're actually going to get Kuro and Benui as part of the fighting force later on. I don't know. I feel like we can't have too many more characters that get added in, but I feel like there are going to be at least a few. I don't know if they're going to be familiar faces or if we're going to actually get a couple of new ones too. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. For now, I am one half of the Bridge Boys, signing off.